Ever find yourself in the quiet of dawn, cradling a steaming mug, pondering life's mysteries? Why do some women flourish into their 90s, even beyond 100, while others seem to wilt too soon, often before 80? It's not merely luck or strong genes. There are profound truths, beautiful, sometimes astonishing truths, that enable certain women not only to live longer, but to live better. In today's discussion, I want to share 5 transformative lessons. These aren't just textbook tips, they're real, lived experiences from women worldwide who are thriving well into their golden years. Women who navigate life with elegance, resilience, and meaning, even when life has tried to slow them down. And here's the thing, these lessons are within your reach. They're small, purposeful choices you can start making today, no matter your age, your history, or your current health. This video is for the woman who has devoted decades to caring for others and may have forgotten how to care deeply for herself. This is for the woman who sometimes feels overlooked, who feels time slipping away. And most of all, this is for the woman who still yearns to live fully, with clarity, vitality, and joy, for many more wonderful years. If you've ever wondered, is it too late for me? I want to tell you right now, it's not. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change how you view aging, and more importantly, how you live each day from this moment on. Secret number 1. Stay active with gentle, joyful daily movement. One of the most potent truths about women who live vibrantly into their 90s and beyond is that they never stop moving. But not in the way you might imagine. They're not logging hours at the gym or running marathons. They're not tracking steps or pursuing fitness goals. Instead, they move in ways that are gentle, joyful, and naturally woven into daily life. For these women, movement isn't a chore or something done out of guilt. No, movement is a way of being. It's part of their rhythm. It's how they stay connected to the world, their bodies, and the present moment. You'll find them strolling through their gardens in the morning light, stretching their arms as they breathe in the fresh air. You'll see them dancing in the kitchen while preparing dinner or swaying to music from their youth. Some might bend to tend a flower bed or sweep the porch while humming a familiar tune. It may seem simple, and it is, but that simplicity holds incredible power. You see, when we move our bodies, we send a message to ourselves. I am still here. I still care. I still have life within me. As we age, the greatest threat to our well-being isn't time, it's inactivity. When we stop moving, our muscles weaken, our bones become fragile, our balance falters, circulation slows, and soon our bodies stiffen and our energy fades. But it doesn't have to be that way. Women who live long, vibrant lives keep their bodies in motion, even if just a little each day. They might walk instead of drive, stretch before bed, carry their groceries, or take the stairs instead of the elevator. These aren't workouts, they're simply choices. And these choices, made over time, add up to strength, balance, and vitality. The beauty of this kind of movement is that it doesn't need to be grand to be meaningful. You don't need to run or lift heavy weights. You don't even need special equipment. What matters most is consistency. Gentle, steady movement every day, even just 5 or 10 minutes, keeps your body alive and your spirit engaged. And perhaps even more importantly, it keeps you in touch with yourself. Because moving your body isn't just good for your muscles and bones, it's good for your heart, your mood, and your mind. Movement releases tension, eases sadness, creates momentum, and gives you something to look forward to. It reminds you that you are still capable, still present, and still part of the living world. So if you've been feeling tired, stiff, or stuck, know this: you are not broken. You are not too old. You are not too late. Your body still wants to move. It still can, and it will thank you for every small step you take. Start small. Stretch your arms when you wake up. Walk to the mailbox instead of waiting for someone else to bring it in. Put on music and move in your chair. Swing your arms gently while you sit. Do a little more each day, not to get in shape, but to feel more alive. You have carried so much through the years. You've cared for others, managed homes, worked through pain, and kept going when life was hard. Your body has been with you through it all. Now is the time to care for it in return, with love, patience, and motion. Because when you move with kindness and intention, you don't just strengthen your body, you awaken your life. So ask yourself today, what small movement can I give my body as a gift? Not because I have to, but because I deserve to feel good, to feel strong, to feel present. Keep moving, not because you're chasing youth, but because you're choosing to stay fully alive. Secret number 2, feed your body thoughtfully and purposefully. As we grow older, one of the greatest acts of self-love we can offer ourselves is how we nourish our bodies. Because food is not just fuel, it's not just about staying full or eating at the right time. For women who live long, healthy, vibrant lives, food becomes something much more sacred. They don't eat just to survive. They eat to thrive, to heal, to energize, to care for themselves, the same way they once cared for their children, families, and communities. What's remarkable is that these women aren't following complicated diets or obsessing over every bite. They don't spend their lives counting calories or chasing food trends. Instead, they've come to understand something simple and powerful. The food you put on your plate becomes part of you. It becomes your energy, your strength, your clarity, your resilience, and so they choose their food with care, not with fear or guilt, but with love and intention. They fill their meals with real, whole foods, things that grow in the earth or swim in the sea, foods that are fresh, colorful, and nourishing. You'll see vegetables in every shade, greens, reds, oranges, purples. You'll see fruits full of flavor and fiber. You'll see beans, grains, and nuts, the kinds of foods that fuel the body slowly and steadily without spikes or crashes. They favor clean, simple proteins like fish, eggs, legumes, or lean poultry. They use heart-healthy fats like olive oil or avocado, not because it's trendy, but because their bodies respond well to it. And just as important as what they eat is what they avoid. These women steer clear of processed foods whenever possible, not out of fear, but from experience. They've learned that too much sugar drains their energy, clouds their thinking, and leads to long-term health issues. They limit foods filled with preservatives or artificial ingredients, not because of a rule, but because they know how different they feel without them. They eat in a way that makes them feel alive, not sluggish, clear, not foggy, nourished, not bloated. And here's something else they do differently. They slow down. They pause before eating. They sit at a table. They taste their food instead of rushing through it. Meals become a time to reflect, to breathe, to give thanks. Eating is not just an act of nutrition, it's an act of presence. That's something many of us forget. We eat on the go while scrolling, while distracted. But the women who live long, meaningful lives make eating an experience, a moment of calm, a moment to reconnect with themselves. If this sounds far from your current habits, don't worry. You don't need to change everything overnight. Small shifts made with love can change your life. Start by adding something fresh to your plate today. A handful of berries, a few steamed vegetables, or even a slice of avocado on toast. Replace one sugary drink with a glass of water. Try cooking something from scratch, even if it's just once a week. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. And most importantly, don't treat food as punishment or reward. Treat it as care, as something you offer your body, because your body is worth caring for. You've given so much to others over the years. Now it's time to give that same devotion to yourself, to feed your body the way you would feed someone you love. And if you've ever thought, it's too late for me to change how I eat, please hear this clearly. It's not too late. Your body is always listening, always responding, always ready to feel better. Food isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. So today, ask yourself not what you should eat, but what would truly nourish you? What would leave you feeling stronger, lighter, more alive? What would be an act of kindness to the body that has carried you through so much? Because when you eat with care, you're not just fueling your body, you're honoring it. Secret number 3, stay mentally active and inquisitive. If there's one thing I've learned from talking with women who live well into their 90s and beyond, it's this. They never stop using their minds. Their bodies may slow, their eyesight may change, but their minds remain alive, curious, aware, and engaged. They don't just grow older, they keep growing wiser. These women understand something many overlook. The brain isn't just a tool, it's a garden. And like a garden, it needs care, attention, and new things to grow. If neglected, it can wither. But if you keep planting new thoughts, ideas, and experiences, it stays vibrant even in later years. They don't keep their minds sharp by accident. They make a choice every day to stay mentally active. And here's the beautiful part. It doesn't take much. You don't need to go back to school or learn advanced math to keep your brain alive. These women do it in simple, meaningful ways. They read books, write letters, play word games, or solve puzzles. They journal their thoughts, memories, and reflections. They learn new things, not because they have to, but because they want to. Some take up painting in their 70s, learn to use email or video calls in their 80s, join discussion groups, attend community talks, or teach younger people skills they've mastered over the years. And they do something else even more powerful. They stay socially connected. They talk with friends, family, neighbors, even strangers. They ask questions, share stories, laugh, listen, offer advice, and learn from others in return. These moments of connection aren't just emotionally comforting, they're mentally nourishing. You see, isolation is one of the greatest threats to the aging mind. When we stop engaging with the world, when we spend too much time alone with no stimulation, the brain begins to dull. Thoughts feel heavier, memories slip away more easily, and days lose their shape and meaning. But these women push against that. They make the effort to stay connected, even when it takes energy, even when they live alone. They call a friend, write a note, show up to a small group at church or a local event, and every time they do, they light something up inside themselves. The science behind this is powerful. Regular mental engagement, especially when paired with social interaction, can slow cognitive decline, improve memory, reduce the risk of depression, and increase overall happiness. But beyond the science, here's what matters most. It reminds you that you are still needed, still valuable, still part of the world. And I want to say this gently but clearly, it's never too late to start. Even if you spent the past few years feeling tired, foggy, or disconnected, your mind is still with you. It still wants to be used. It still craves stimulation. And it will respond to your attention. You don't need to force yourself to become someone you're not. You simply need to stay open. Open to learning, to listening, to growing. Open to trying something new. Open to asking, what else is out there for me? Because the moment you believe your best thinking is behind you, you stop giving your brain the fuel it needs to thrive. But when you stay curious even about the small things, you give your mind a reason to stay awake. So ask yourself today, what's something new I can learn? What conversation can I have that nourishes me? What story could I share or ask to hear? And remember, your wisdom matters, your perspective matters, your ability to keep learning and teaching and growing is not behind you. It's still unfolding right here, right now. You are not fading, you are still becoming. Stay curious because curiosity keeps the mind alive, and a living mind brings meaning to every day you wake up. There is something that keeps the heart beating strong, something deeper than healthy food, deeper than physical movement or mental exercises. It is the quiet force behind every long life, the anchor that steadies us through loss, change, and uncertainty. That something is purpose. Women who live beyond 90 and even past 100 almost always have one thing in common. They have a reason to keep waking up each day. It's not always a grand mission or something the world recognizes. It doesn't come with applause or awards. Sometimes it's as simple as tending a garden, reading to a grandchild, writing a letter, cooking a favorite dish, volunteering once a week, or offering wisdom to someone who needs it. What matters isn't the size of the purpose. What matters is that it's real and that it's yours. Because the truth is, as we grow older, many of the roles we once held begin to change. Children grow up, careers end, friends and spouses may pass on, and suddenly, the purpose that once kept us moving begins to feel out of reach. That feeling of no longer being needed, of no longer being seen, is one of the deepest wounds a person can carry. It can lead to sadness, loneliness, even illness. But it doesn't have to stay that way, because purpose doesn't retire. Purpose doesn't fade with age, purpose evolves. And the women who live the longest, most fulfilling lives are the ones who keep finding purpose again and again in every season of life. They believe deep down that they still matter, that their story isn't over, that they still have something to give, something to learn, and something to live for. And you do too. Maybe your purpose now is to nurture yourself for the first time in a long time. Maybe it's to reconnect with family. Maybe it's to share your story, your wisdom, or your time with someone younger. Maybe it's to create something, care for something, or simply be a light in someone else's life. And if you're unsure what your purpose is right now, that's okay. Just ask yourself this simple question: what brings me a sense of meaning, peace, or connection even for a moment? Start there. Follow that thread. You're not too old to grow. You're not too late to love. You're not too far gone to rediscover joy, to be surprised, to be of service. Because purpose doesn't just give your life direction, it gives it vitality. It lifts your spirit, clears your mind, strengthens your body. People with purpose live longer, not just in years, but in depth, in energy, in presence. And here's the most important part: you are allowed to define your own purpose. No one else gets to decide what matters to you. If it fills your heart, if it lights up your day, if it gives you something to look forward to, then it's enough. Purpose doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's found in silence, in kindness, in curiosity, in hope. So today, take a moment. Breathe and gently ask yourself, what is still calling to me? What is still waiting to be lived? Your life still has chapters to write. Your voice still has power. Your presence still has meaning. You are not finished. You're just entering a new purpose, a new season. And it may be the most beautiful one yet, a new chapter, a new you. So here we are, dear friend. We've walked together through 5 beautiful truths, not just about living longer, but about living better, more fully and more intentionally in the years ahead. We talked about movement, not as punishment or pressure, but as a gift of joy, a gentle way to stay connected to your body and spirit. We explored nourishment, not in strict diets or rules, but in choosing foods that truly care for you, support your energy, and keep you feeling alive from the inside out. We dove into the power of mental engagement and curiosity, keeping your mind sharp by continuing to learn, ask, share, and connect with the world around you. We looked honestly at what happens when we believe decline is inevitable, and how the strongest women are the ones who refuse to give in, who adapt, shift, and grow stronger with time, not weaker. And finally, we came to the heart of it all: purpose. The deep, soul-rooted reason to keep going, to keep loving, to keep showing up. If just one part of today's message touched you, I want you to pause and take that in. Let it settle into your heart, because this isn't about doing everything at once. This isn't about perfection. This is about possibility, and how your life, no matter your age, is still full of it. So often in our later years, we're told to step back, to take it easy, to fade into the background. But I believe, and I hope you now believe too, that you are not here to fade. You are here to shine in a way that is uniquely yours. You've lived through so much. You've given, built, raised, held, endured, and now you are still here with wisdom in your bones and a heart that still wants more peace, more connection, more purpose, more life. You're not past your prime. You're in your prime of clarity, intention, and meaning. This next chapter of your life doesn't have to be smaller. It can be deeper, more grounded, more honest, more free. So here's my invitation to you, not as a coach, not as an expert, but as someone who believes in your story. Start small. Choose one secret, one shift, one new habit to begin this week. Maybe it's a morning stretch. Maybe it's adding a fresh vegetable to your plate. Maybe it's writing in a journal. Maybe it's reaching out to an old friend. Maybe it's simply saying out loud, "I'm not done. I am still becoming." And watch what happens when you begin to live that way. Because I believe with all my heart that your later years can be some of your richest, not just in time, but in joy, in peace, in meaning. So thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for listening. But more than anything, thank you for not giving up on yourself. You still have so much to offer, to others and to yourself. You are worthy of good health. You are worthy of being nourished. You are worthy of strong relationships, sharp thinking, and joyful movement. And you are deeply worthy of a life filled with purpose at every age. If this message spoke to you, I'd love to know. Leave a comment below, even just a few words, and tell me, which of these 5 truths are you ready to bring into your life today? And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. Not because it helps me, but because I want to keep showing up for you with more stories, more lessons, more encouragement, just like this. You're not alone, you're not invisible, and your life is far from over. It's still unfolding, and the best may still be to come. Until next time, take care of yourself. Move with love, eat with care, think with curiosity, speak with courage, and live with purpose. You are not done, you are just getting started.